Hey YouTube, I'm Tycondrius there, doing another action figure review, and today we're having a look at not one but two more Masters of the Universe, or He-Man and the Masters of the Universe cartoon collection figures. Now these are the only two cartoon collection figures I own so far. There is others out there, but these are the only two I picked up at the moment. And there is a reasoning why I'm doing these two back to back. So the two characters, as you can see over here, is obviously Mer-man and Trap-jaw. So Mer-man and Trap-jaw, well, I wouldn't say Mer-man's a fan favorite of mine. Trap-jaw is definitely a fan favorite of mine, so he was the first one I had to pick up from the line just to see how it looked, because it is, after all, I knew for 2024, although you wouldn't notice it on this. But if I flip around the box, here is Trap-jaw's box. You have the cartoon collection and 80s adventure on it. So the reasoning I'm doing these two back to back is because they have, one is the US version card back, which is Trap-jaw's, and the other one is the European, or the multilingual, whichever one you want to call it, version of the card back, just so you can see the comparisons between the two and comparisons between some of the contents within. So as you can see, you have this cartoon collection sticker that is on the blister card. This is done in the Filmation logo style with the multicolors on it, but it says cartoon as opposed to Filmation, but these are based on the Filmation cartoon series. If I flip around the back of the box, you have, if I just move the figures back a touch, so I can bring the card back a bit further back so you can see everything on it, while hopefully not losing accessories. And I'm going to have to angle it up a bit. So you have the artwork for Trap-jaw. Says, as seen on the double-edged sword episode, includes comic book, modernizing and celebrating the original 80s Masters of the Universe animated series, includes Ethereum rock, twist into powerful battle positions, and it shows other figures in the wave. Now, the way they show the figures in the wave isn't how they're packed or how they're sold. So I believe Trap-jaw and Teela are in the same wave. However, Stratus and Mer-man are actually part of a separate wave, and the other two figures that were part of that wave, if I can find one of their boxes, was this wave. So this is the one that came with Lord Grasp, Terror, Stratus, and Mer-man. And you can see cartoon collection underneath for this. And this, again, is the European version of the Terror box, which I did do a review of. So this is the European version of Mer-man's box. Obviously, his card has been ripped open because I ripped it open. Now, when I got it, it was packed in a mailer box, and it was just crushed like this. The crease here wasn't something from storing it. This is the way it came shipped to me from Smith's, which is a little bit disappointing for people who collect on card kind of collectible figures. Like, this would be considered a retro collectible line, and it being crushed in a mailer packaging to get it shipped was it was just like a, what do you call them, a bubble mailer, and it wasn't packed with any packing to stop it from getting damaged. So up in the corner you have includes comic book, and then it's written in multiple languages on the back, but you can see where it differs from the American card. You have no as seen on double-edged sword. You have Mer-man with the can't remember what they were called. They were like in an Atlantean style group of people. The episode, I think, is City of the Sea or something along those lines, where Mer-man has basically taken over as the lord of this place, and he is I think he just kidnapped the princess that was in charge of the actual kingdom, and He-Man, Battlecat, and Man-at-Arms go to investigate why the Eternian ships are being attacked, and they find Mer-man is at the center of it, and he's controlling them using this orb thing. I don't know, I think it might be just called the Orb of Power. I'm not too sure, but he has this thing, which, as you can see on Trap-jaw's box, it actually tells you what it is. It's the Ethereum rock. Now, I can't remember the episode where he uses it. Obviously, it's up this one, the double-edged sword. I haven't seen that episode in a while, but I'm assuming he uses it to power himself up, as depicted on the kind of artwork on this. And then you can see the differences. There's a lot more legalese stuff on the European card backs. And obviously, there is nothing telling you to twist into powerful battle positions, and it doesn't tell you what this is. Again, it does showcase the same 4 figures. I do know there is other figures out there. Beastman, Skeletor, He-Man, and his Man-at-Arms are the other figures that have been released as part of the cartoon collection so far. And I'm not sure if there's anyone else off the top of my head, but these are the ones that are released so far. So, getting the boxes out of the way, and I'm just going to adjust my camera down a slight bit so you can see it. We have and bear with me a moment, I'm just going to drop the camera a bit. We will have a look at mini comics that come included. Now, Trap-jaw is the one that seems to be a bit misprinted, but it's not too bad. This is the one that comes with, I'm assuming it comes in the same wave with Stratos and Mer-man, and this is the one that comes with Teela and Trap-jaw. You can see there is an actual speech bubbles. There's pre-Eternia mentioned in this. There is a triple-headed dragon, so you can actually tell what's going on. And again, it shows the same 4 figures on the back. And it also has a name on the cover of it, Time's End. But when you get to Mer-man's, this is what you're treated to. This is Mer-man's one. So you have the underwater city. You have the avians investigating something. Mer-man doing stuff. The sorceress, He-Man, Extendar, Orko. I think that's Man-at-Arms. I'm not sure. It could be one of the Eternian soldiers, but I'm pretty sure it's Man-at-Arms. And then you have this person, whoever this is, and these people, whoever these are, they look like a bunch of Mer-man's species. And because this is European, it gives you no speech bubbles whatsoever, and you do not know what the heck is going on these ones, which is a damn shame. I've mentioned it numerous times. You can't figure, there's, on some of the comics, it's not overly complicated, but sometimes following the story, you have no idea what the heck is going on. So it is a bit annoying in that respect. I did take it out. You also get one of these leaflets that are in each of them. Now this is the one for Terror, but you get a leaflet in each of these for these figures that show which parts can pop off, because just like the regular Origins figures, these are intended to have swappable parts. So you have that. But we'll get onto the 2 figures in hand. So I have them extended to their highest kind of extended point with their legs. You can crouch them down, but when they're actually extended, they tend to stand a little bit taller than the regular Origins figures. So you have Trap-jaw here coming in just over the 6 inches, which is quite nice. And then Mer-man is just around the 6-inch mark. He's maybe 6 1/4 inches in height, and that's with his legs extended. And then just for size comparison, because I have him handy, here he is with the original Trap-jaw. So if you're taking it from the point of the loop for that string piece, you can see he is a good bit taller. Now it's not probably coming out as clear, but he is. If I bring him up, you can see he stands around 6, where he's the original one is just under the 6 inches, so there is a small discrepancy between the sizes on these guys. I'm just going to pop this guy out for the moment. You can probably see him there, so I'm going to move him out of the way. And we'll get on to the articulation. Now, one of the reasons these guys are actually slightly bigger is because they actually have designed a new body buck that is more cartoon kind of accurate, to say the least. So, as I said, you can pop out the arms just like on the other figures. Trap-jaw is fairly plain. He is designed to look like his counterpart. He does come with the same accessories that his original version and several other versions that utilizes that kind of swappable arm piece has. So this is actually Terror's one, so you can see it's the same hook arm that comes with Terror and comes with the original Trap-jaw, which is on his belt here, and it's the same laser gun that is on that. So he does have that. He does retain all the articulation on his arm. It does seem that this piece on him is a separate piece, but the arm isn't. This arm is the one exception to the rule for the swappable parts. This part is not swappable as far as I can tell. I've tried to kind of pop it out, but it doesn't seem to want to pop out at all. But it does have his, you can give him his hook hand. If you want him to have the hook hand, you can give him the blaster hand to have him with the blaster if you want him that way. But the cool thing about this guy is you can give him the iconic look of how he did in the show, where he would rotate his arm up and it'd be just the blaster part from the top of the bicep down. So you have that kind of classic cartoon look where he's just a, you can do it with the hook as well, but it doesn't look as cool. But you have the option for just having the blaster arm. You can, as I said, do the hook straight onto that, but it looks a little silly. It looks like really tiny. So it is nice to have that little extra piece that just pops out and gives you the option for this. His head is on a ball joint and it has the opening jaw, which is quite nice. He does have a bit of underbite going on, or overbite, I suppose, whichever what it is. But he does look pretty cool. His arm is on standard hinges, single jointed elbows, swivels. In fact, they both have the same articulation. The one thing, he does have storage for one attachment on his back when he's not using it, which is quite nice. So he does retain that. He does have legs can kick forward, not too much. They tend to get a little bit hindered by the sculpt more than anything else. He does have a single jointed knee. They do have that boot cut. He does have the rocker ankles, but because of the way his boots or his legs are designed, you don't get a lot of rocking out of it because the cuffs kind of go over where the shoes are. And he does have that grip hand. He does, as it says, come with, what was the heck thing was called? The Ethereum rock, which is this clearish blue-ish tinted rock looking thing. It looks like a crystal. It does fit in his hand, but sometimes it's not the best. It does tend to flop out of it because the hand has a kind of a gumminess to it, so sometimes he doesn't grip it the best. Let me just move my boxes out of the way. So he doesn't tend to grip it all the best, but he can grip it. I mean, if you have another kind of standard weapon, he can grip that no bother. So we'll just move him outside. Oh, and he does have the boot hole or peg holes for the bottom of the feet, so he is quite nice. Now, unfortunately, I don't have Skeletor or his boss to go with, but if you have the older version or the Origins version Skeletor, you can see how he stacks up with these guys. So he doesn't look too bad. I know the Filmation cartoon series version looks more accurate to how he looked in the cartoon, with the more all yellow face and the kind of, he actually has a closed mouth skull. He doesn't have the open mouth, so it is what it is. I will hopefully pick him and He-Man up at some point. But here is the Mer-man figure, which I really, really like. I didn't think I'd actually like him as much as I do. I have picked up the other Mer-man figures in the past, like the original toy based one and the one that was based on the Lords of Power line, and they are different. The armor on this guy is completely new. Again, he utilizes the same body and arms pretty much as Trap-jaw. I would imagine across the board most people utilize the same. I would imagine these are the same feet as Skeletor's, the triple feet, because on the original Mer-man figure, that's how they, was it original Mer-man, I think, had Skeletor feet. I could be wrong. I could be misthinking that one actually, but I know sometimes they reuse Skeletor feet. I think I'm thinking of classics. Some of the Mer-man figures reuse Skeletor's feet for classics. They have that nice three-toed look to them. Again, boot cut is there, single jointed knee, leg articulation, legs can kind of split that much. Again, you're not getting a super range on forward, just because of whatever way the legs and the waist part is sculpted. You do have the arms. Now, he does have these fin parts of his armor that will kind of get in the way. You can rotate them around, but you have to split out to the side, as you can see. Arms do rotate up that much. He does have the single joint swivel with the hinge, and the wrist swivels and has a hinge as well. And the head is on a ball joint. I think the reason why I really like this guy is because of that goofy, derpy look he has on his face. He just kind of screams the goofy henchman look that he had in that show. Again, he does have that spear or trident. I'm not sure if he uses the trident much in the cartoon show. I know he does. The guys that he takes control of use tridents that look like this one in that episode. So maybe that's why he has this. But I think, for the most part, I don't ever remember him kind of using weaponry. Mostly I remember Trap-jaw using weapons and different arm attachments. But I don't remember like any of the other guys like Whiplash. There's Spikor, Whiplash, Spikor, Tongue Lasher was there as well, and I can't remember them mostly using like the same weapon over and over. There might be episodes where they pick up a weapon that wasn't specific to them, but this guy does come with that spear or trident, and he does come with this very cool pearlescent little pearl looking thing. I think it's called the Pearl of Power actually, and it basically looks like a marble. It reminds me much of a marble, but there's kind of a pearlescent or iridescent color scheme to this thing. So it does look pretty cool, and you can hold it quite nicely in his hand. So if you have anyone that has a similar hand, in fact, this guy actually has a similar hand. The other version of Trap-jaw does. He should be able to hold it no better than that, which he does. Now, figures like He-Man here, this is the second version of He-Man where he had the more toy accurate head, because the first one had a slightly different head. It didn't look as close to the toy as the reissue or second wave version or multiple down the line version. He-Man does have that open hand. Let's see if he can actually hold the Pearl of Power as well. Not quite. Hang on, let's see if we can straighten his hand out a little bit better. He might be just able to do it, but the minute you tip him or flip him over, he will actually drop it. So it isn't the most secure thing. It is a little bit more secure. I mean, it's not super secure, but if you kind of give him a shake, it's not going to pop out his hand too much. But if you do it with He-Man, let's try back in that. Yeah, less shaking and it pops out of the hand. But we'll just throw it in his hand for the time being. So there you go, guys. There is hopefully a enjoyable look at the two cartoon series figures that I have so far, Mer-man and Trap-jaw. I had to get Trap-jaw because Trap-jaw was my favorite of Skeletor's villains. It kind of went Trap-jaw, Whiplash, Skeletor. Evelyn was pretty cool. So like, there is an Evelyn figure actually just being released at the time of this recording. I think she's only showing up in stores now, or she will be available for shipping soon. But I'm hoping to get her as well to see how she compares to Teela, because originally Teela and her always seemed to share the same body and construction. I'm wondering if they did the same thing again with the cartoon version. I need to pick up Tila and Evelyn just to see if they did the same thing. So all in all, I do like the cartoon or the filmation line. There was a Super 7 line that was basically the original style of figure, where they had it was 5.5 inch, and they were done as their cartoon filmation counterparts. So if they do get around to doing that, you might be able to cross over some of the accessories from those figures if you have them, because I think when Super 7 did do the filmation line figures, they gave them some episode specific accessories as well, so you might be able to do a crossover a bit with those as well if you have any of those in hand. But I'd say getting those now might be a little bit costly, but it's just something to note. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick video review of the Masters of the Universe cartoon collection, Mer-man and Trap-jaw. As always, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe to my channel, and please help my channel grow and see if we can get her 5,000k subscriptions or 5,000k subs and watches, get the watch counter up as well. So cheers, guys. I hope you enjoy this, and as always, have a great day. Thanks.